insisted on Andersen Windows.
At Andersen, we appreciate the builders who, time after time, make it look easy.
We're still in love with this house.
And I'm still recovering.
Worry-proof, time-proof. Andersen Windows.
Blair Custom Homes, building fine architecturally designed homes for over 40 years.
Suppose you could buy the fine furniture you wanted at big savings.
Suppose I needed no money down.
Suppose you needed no payments until 2002.
Suppose I paid no interest.
Suppose everything could be delivered the next day.
Suppose I look like Cindy Crawford.
Well, at Mealey's you can.
Look like Cindy Crawford?
Now through Labor Day, get great furniture at Mealey's at low prices with no money down, no interest, no payments until 2002, plus next day delivery every day.
What about Cindy Crawford?
She gets next day delivery too.
Good morning. You're waking up to a beautiful Saturday morning here in the Delaware Valley, 6:41 as we look live on Sky 6 at the back bays at the shore. Should be a nice weekend by the water. New research indicates that even one cigarette can have a big impact on your body. University of Chicago researchers say that the nicotine from just one cigarette is enough to make lasting changes in your brain, changes that may represent the first stage of addiction. Scientists believe nicotine strengthens the connections between the cells that recognize the drug and other cells responsible for pleasure. Doctors say this discovery could lead to ways to make it easier for you to stop smoking. A California city wants to take the state's ban on smoking in the workplace and restaurants one step farther, to rental apartments. A West Hollywood councilman has drafted an ordinance that would allow landlords to accept only non-smokers as new tenants. It would not affect smokers who are already renting. Smokers are crying foul. Many landlords now have anti-smoking provisions in their leases, but if the ordinance passes, those provisions would be enforceable by law.
The medical news this week has centered on giving a green light to controversial research, a new tool to stop alcoholism, and the American way of health for women. Let's take a look at Health Check headliners. For American women, the state they live in plays a factor in how healthy they are. That's the bottom line of a report card by the National Women's Law Center and the University of Pennsylvania Medical School. But even the best states got unsatisfactory grades. There are hopeful signs, though. Death rates from heart disease, lung cancer, breast cancer, and AIDS are down in the female population. However, the report says as a whole, the nation is failing its women. A drug already being used to ease the side effects of chemotherapy could help with a whole different problem, alcoholism. In early studies, ondansetron dramatically cut the craving for alcohol, particularly for people who get hooked on liquor early in life. Early onset alcoholism is linked to a family history of alcohol abuse. It causes a disruption in brain chemicals, and that in turn boosts the urge to drink. Ondansetron blocks that urge, enabling other treatment such as counseling to take effect. And the federal government has opened the door to research on stem cells taken from human embryos. President Clinton touted the research with these building block cells as having potentially staggering benefits for diseases such as diabetes and Alzheimer's. But some oppose the work because the embryos must be destroyed to get to the cells. Under the new government guidelines, research can only be on embryos from fertility clinics already destined to be destroyed. Tomorrow morning on Health Check, a new way to look for ovarian cancer early on, and an air-filled blanket that makes patients more comfortable during surgery. It may even prevent some serious complications. Those stories tomorrow morning on Action News starting at 7 a.m.
Still ahead on Action News this morning, our good housekeeping report.
Leanne Mosey looks at wet cleaning. Is it really better for the environment than dry cleaning, and how well does it work on your clothes? The answer when Action News continues.
Summer clearance savings time, the best time of year to save thousands. Who has the best prices? Faulkner Pontiac Buick GMC, to be sure. $6,500 off custom safaris, $5,000 off Park Avenues, huge rebates on Pontiacs, plus discount financing from 3.9. Best of all, you never pay more for Faulkner satisfaction. Don't miss it. Faulkner Pontiac Buick GMC Trevose, or online at faulknertobesure.com.
They're here. Bonus buy savings from Acme all through the store. This week, all Lancaster brand and Purdue fresh chicken is 40% off. Take your pick of California black, red, or white seedless grapes, only 99 cents a pound. And keep your cool with assorted flavors of Snapple, just $9.99 a case. Look for the orange bonus buy arrows and save.
Don't miss Kohl's 50% off sale this Friday and Saturday only. Save 50% on hundreds of items store-wide. Get 50% off selected women's sweaters, blouses, and knit tops. Get 50% off young men's camp shirts. And get 50% off our entire stock of rugs, pillows, blankets, and solid color bath towels. Save on these and hundreds of other items store-wide. Don't miss Kohl's 50% off sale this Friday and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
That's more like it. That's more like it. Kohl.
It's called a what?
It's called a silicon chip. Look, we're gonna change everything. Come on, John, we just need to raise $300. Are you in?
Sorry, man, I kinda got plans for that cash.
Ever missed a great opportunity? Here's a chance to redeem yourself. Until September 5th, buy or lease a Lexus for unbelievable values. The Lexus Golden Opportunity. Don't let this one pass you by.
Hey guys, new 8-track player.
While there, see the new IS at your Lexus dealer.
A salute to Broadway is going on at the Trevose Horticulture Society's flower show in Bensalem. Everything from wide displays of color for Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat to tropical arrangements for the musical South Pacific. The club also has categories for those who love to raise vegetables. The flower show continues today at the Wood River Village Auditorium.
Concern that dry cleaning can be bad for the environment has spawned a new cleaning process. It's called wet cleaning. How well does it work? Sally Ann Mosey has answers in this morning's Good Housekeeping Report.
Dry cleaning washes clothes in a chemical called perc, which is an air pollutant and has been linked to assorted health hazards. Well, now you can find safer wet cleaning at about 4,000 shops.
In the industry today, I would say in the United States, probably 80% of the work process is dry clean and 20% is wet clean.
Wet cleaning uses a non-toxic detergent and water solution. What we wanted to see was how effectively it cleaned the clothes compared to traditional dry cleaning.
The Good Housekeeping Institute measured 8 sets of clothing and stained 7 of them with ink, lipstick, tomato sauce, salad dressing, and coffee. Then they sent 3 sets to dry cleaners, 3 to wet cleaners, and kept 2 sets to compare stains, shrinkage, and fabric finish.
Overall, we really felt that wet cleaning worked. In fact, when it came to shrinkage, the wet clean clothes actually shrunk less than the dry clean clothes. And even for stain removal, we found that both the tomato sauce and the coffee stains were removed equally well by both methods.
But on most other stains, dry cleaning was more effective, especially with wool and rayon.
On the downside, we found that the wool pants that were wet cleaned actually pilled a little more and did show a slight color change. Overall, our advice for stain removal is if you have a really bad stain, the best thing to do is take it to a dry cleaner.
If you want to try wet cleaning, the Institute recommends that you check with your dry cleaners to make sure that they have the International Fabric Care Institute certification. I'm Sally Ann Mosey, Channel 6, Action News.
Time to check our Action News calendar for this Saturday, August 26th. Bethany Collegiate Presbyterian Church invites you to its 4th annual Summer Festival Block Party. Free food, games, rides, and other attractions will be featured today from 3 to 7. The church is located at 5 North Concord Avenue in Havertown. And the Wilmington chapter of Mothers and More is holding its annual children's resale from 9 to noon. You'll find great savings on used children's items today at Holy Angels Church, 82 Possum Park Road. This is in Newark, Delaware.
Mothers and More. Does that mean expectant mothers of twins, perhaps, or triplets?
You never know.
Never know. Action News continues for you in just a moment.
An online ticketing agency is raising eyebrows in Washington. We'll have the latest on Orbitz.com. David.
Mostly sunny skies in Philadelphia at this early hour. A bit cool, 65 degrees. The wind's currently running calm to light, so it's fairly comfortable out there. In the meantime, not a lot on radar either, at least on the eastern half of the country. A little bit out to our northwest and out to the west. Some rain, but we won't have to worry about that until tomorrow. If you're planning your day around the weather, 71 degrees by 9, 81 by noon, 83 by 5, a fair amount of sunshine the whole way. The 5-day forecast and more on tomorrow's rain when Action News comes right back.
It's
a leftover summer sell down at FC Kerbeck, the GMC Giant. Over 500 leftover GMCs must go. New leftover Jimmys as low as $249 a month or $0 down. Leftover Yukon XL, Denali, Sierra pickup, Sonoma pickup, all discounted up to $5,000 off. Plus factory rebates up to $2,500 more. Leftover summer sell down. Now at FC Kerbeck, the GMC Giant. Open late every night.
There's something new, real cool, everything for back to school. Shop, shopping, you're shopping across. Great brands for kids and teens, tees to cargos, lots of jeans. Shopping, you're shopping across. Classes start, summer ends, look great, impress your friends. Shop, shopping, you're shopping across. One place to go, everything is priced so low. Shop, shopping, you're shopping across.
At Ross, you'll save up to 65% every day.
There's always something new when you're shopping at Ross.
I'm here for the free checkup.
Bring your transmission to Amco. Get a comprehensive checkup for free. Call 1-800-GO-AMCO.
Suppose you could buy the fine furniture you wanted at big savings.
Suppose I needed no money down.
Suppose you needed no payments until 2002.
Suppose I paid no interest.
Suppose everything could be delivered the next day.
Suppose I look like Cindy Crawford.
Well, at Mealey's you can.
Look like Cindy Crawford?
Now through Labor Day, get great furniture at Mealey's at low prices with no money down, no interest, no payments until 2002, plus next day delivery every day.
What about Cindy Crawford?
She gets next day delivery too.
Just where are all those drivers in front of you going? We're guessing it's the highway to hunger satisfaction called Route KFC. Turn left at 8 pieces of original recipe or extra crispy KFC chicken. And look for 6 of the Colonel's sweet and tangy honey barbecue wings. All this under a sign that says it's yours for just $9.99. Hello? You better get your motor running. KFC, your road to chicken bliss. The Colonel's chicken and honey barbecue wings, only $9.99.
Unusually shaped hot air balloons were the sight to see at a festival outside NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. A 135-foot tall American bald eagle and a 90-foot tall Uncle Sam were on display. Each night, the propane burners of the hot air balloons will pulse to the rhythm of music. Today at the festival, the Johnson Space Center will hold an open house for a rare look at how astronauts train for their missions. Pretty cool.
That bald eagle looked a little bit like a Bacardi's glass, didn't it? The summer travel season is starting to wind down, but a new travel website is gearing up for its fall debut. It's already getting a lot of attention and also a lot of controversy. Rick Williams has more in the Cyber 6 report.
It sounds like a great deal. No more talking to travel agents or surfing a dozen different websites. With just a click of the mouse on orbitz.com, and travelers could see fares on hundreds of different airlines, including those really cheap e-fares.
They'll see basically more choice. That means more flights, more fares.
The new internet company is owned in part by 5 of the major airlines: American, Continental, Delta, Northwest, and United. Joining of forces that has some federal lawmakers more than a little suspicious. At a recent Senate Commerce Committee hearing, Orbitz and its airline owners came under attack.
We think that it's collusive by its nature, and experience here should teach us not to allow a repetition of the things that have gone on in the past.
There are essentially no rules governing how airlines sell tickets on the internet. The major concern with Orbitz is that American, Continental, Delta, Northwest, and United would share information about their lowest fares only with Orbitz, and not with competitors like Travelocity, Priceline, or Expedia.
Word got around to all the consumers that the lowest fares were only available on Orbitz. That's what the consumers flocked to.
And that, officials say, would lead to a monopoly and the potential to charge consumers higher prices in the long run.
The Justice Department is now investigating, and the Department of Transportation is looking into new rules that would govern online ticket sales. As for Orbitz, it plans to be up and running by October. For Cyber 6, Rick Williams, Channel 6, Action News.
All right, David Murphy standing by with a look at AccuWeather for the weekend and beyond.
And it's cool for now, but don't worry about that, folks. It's going to be nice and warm this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine. Looks like any rain we get will probably hold off until tomorrow. Take a look at Satellite 6, first of all, and you can see the movement over the last 12 hours. A little bit of heavier cloud cover starting to work its way into western Pennsylvania. But what little clouds we have in the Delaware Valley is starting to evaporate and dissipate just a little bit at this early hour. We're going to have mid-80s around here in Philadelphia. At the shore, not bad, sunny and nice, high in the low 80s. And in the Poconos, sunshine and high right about 80 on the nose. Now, if we go wider on Satellite 6, you see some heavier clouds starting to spill down ahead of a cold front out of the northwest. There's also a warm front starting to work its way up from the southwest. And when we throw radar into the picture, you can see that both of those systems starting to turn a little bit of precipitation into the picture. Again, AccuWeather doesn't think any of this will affect us until tomorrow, but tomorrow could feature a scattered shower or maybe even a thunderstorm popping through at times. We're going to call for a mix of clouds and sun tomorrow, but we'll have to post the chance of a shower or a thunderstorm just about any time, and we'll just wait and see how that system, and really those two of those systems, start to affect us as we get up tomorrow morning. High pressure in place for now, though. Low winds, plenty of sunshine, at least for the first 3/4 of the day. Maybe a few clouds moving in later on this afternoon, and then we'll watch out for this rain. Again, we think the warm front is going to be the main thing that affects us tomorrow. Call from AccuWeather for the Delaware Valley. For now, a wee bit cool early on, but it'll be a wee bit warm later on. 84 degrees, your forecast high, and that's where we wound up yesterday. So the same kind of pattern. Plenty of sunshine today, too. Cool for now, though. 57 in Reading, 54 in Lancaster, just 55 in Allentown. In Trenton, 58, 58 in Atlantic City, 61 in Cape May, 63 in Dover, 58 in Wilmington. I don't think I left too many people out. 53 up in the Poconos. How's that, huh? 66 degrees in Center City, closer to the buildings and the asphalt and all that warm stuff. 65 at the airport, 64 at the station, same thing in Camden, and just 60 in the northeast. Sky 6 is outside now, looking at sun up over the Delaware as we head off to the east there, and you see some of those remaining lingering high clouds, but they won't be there for long. Presently 65 degrees, humidity 84%. The barometer is on the rise, a little bit above 30 at this early hour. Winds out of the north at 3, as I said, they're not very strong, and the ocean water temperature 73 off Atlantic City. The exclusive AccuWeather 5-day forecast, mostly sunny, 84 degrees, pretty nice today. Partly cloudy tonight, 66, a little bit on the cool side, but not bad right in through here. And then clouds and sun on Sunday, and again the chance of a scattered shower or thunderstorm. Don't know if it's going to rain all day, but we'll really have to wait and see how that warm front and then that cold front from the northwest affects us. 82 degrees for your high tomorrow. If it's the warm front, it should be more scattered, though. Clouds and sun on Monday, 80 degrees, maybe some lingering rain early on Monday, and then Tuesday, partly sunny, 82. And how about 86 for Wednesday, partly cloudy? Looks like we'll get a little bit warm by midweek. Nice day today, though, nice and warm, plenty of sunshine, so get out there and enjoy the pool and whatever.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, David.
Folks at the zoo in Atlanta are hoping a lion born in Africa will help broaden their den. 10-year-old Farasi, an African lion, is the latest addition to the zoo. Farasi just moved from his home at the San Diego Zoo in Atlanta. Zoo officials are hoping Farasi will breed with their 5-year-old female. Farasi was born in Kruger National Park in Africa. Quite an imposing creature.
Well, we're not lying. Another hour of Action News is still ahead.
That was lame. Here are some of the stories we'll have for you. It turns out something called dry lightning may be the cause of many of the wildfires burning out west. And Wilmington welcomes the return of a community favorite. We'll have a preview of today's Pushmobile Derby Classic. And you know I was just kidding.
I know that you were. Those stories and more when Action News continues for you in about a minute.
It's a leftover summer showdown at FC Kerbeck, world's largest luxury car and truck store. Over 500 Lexus DeVille, Eldorado, Town Car, Continental, Margate. Just go! 98 Cadillacs sedan DeVille and Lincoln Continental. Your choice. Only $299 a month. Zero down. Like new, low mileage, complete with Kerbeck's 100% money back guarantee. Hey, only about half the price of new. Leftover summer showdown. Now at FC Kerbeck, open late every night.
This is going to be sports equipment. This can help you surf the net. This could be a minivan for my school.
Now at Big K, you can do more than save on your family's favorite Campbell's brands. Because with Campbell's Labels for Education, saving labels helps schools get free stuff and makes kids feel like heroes.
I'm helping my school get lots of computers.
Stop by the pantry this week and get lots of savings on Campbell's favorites for your pantry.
Now this is lots of sports equipment.
Campbell and Big K, helping schools
one label at a time.
Listen to Action News in your car. 87.7 FM.
7 o'clock on this Saturday, August 26th.
Here are some of the stories we're following for you this Saturday morning on Action News. Police investigate an overnight shooting in Kensington. At least one person is dead. We'll have a live report from the scene. One suspect in last year's shooting of 2 college students in Ohio. Here's the jury's verdict.
And 37 years after the I Have a Dream speech, a new generation prepares to march on the nation's capital. All those stories in a moment, but our first check of AccuWeather at 7 o'clock from David Murphy. David.
What are the words to that song? Sunshine on my shoulders or shoulder? I got it on shoulder right now, but it's going to be on everybody's shoulders later on. We've got sunshine building right now in Philadelphia. It's a bit on the cool side. Current temperature just 65 degrees, but with the winds light, it feels rather refreshing out here, really. Mostly sunny and 84 for your call this afternoon, so it is going to be a bit on the warm side later, AccuWeather says. And then tonight, cool once again, 66 degrees under partly cloudy skies. If you're planning your day around the weather, by 9 o'clock, expect temperature to be up about 71. That's not bad. By noon, 81 degrees and fairly warm. By 5 o'clock, coming down from our high of 84 to 83, and maybe a few more clouds around, but I wouldn't worry about it. It's going to be a pretty nice day from start to finish. Possibility of some raindrops, though, ahead tomorrow. And we'll have a look at that as well as the rest of the 5-day forecast when we step back inside a little bit later on. Anita?
Okay, David, thank you. The big story on Action News this Saturday morning is a shootout on the streets of Kensington that left one person dead and 2 others in critical condition. Witnesses say the shooting may have been sparked by a jealous rage. Action News reporter Karen Rogers with the latest.
Shortly after 3 o'clock this morning, gunfire broke out right here on the 1900 block of Dolphin Street and claimed the life of one man. The family is still here grieving for George Justiniano. I spoke with his brother Frankie, who says that the reason for this shootout was jealousy.
He's a hard-working guy, got 2 kids.
Frankie, why do you think this happened?
Jealousy. It's over jealousy.
What do you mean?
Jealous. The guy's jealous of, I'm saying, of his girl being with other guys.
Frankie says that George's new girlfriend's ex-boyfriend showed up on the scene and shot him. The 25-year-old was rushed to Hahnemann Hospital, but he died shortly after arriving there. Witnesses told police that they saw here at the scene someone dragging 2 people into a burgundy Pontiac. That bullet-ridden car was found at Temple Hospital with 2 more victims. A 20-year-old man shot in the head and chest, a 23-year-old male shot in the chest. Both are at Temple Hospital undergoing surgery. They're in critical condition. The driver of that car was not injured. He was taken into custody for questioning. 2 weapons were recovered, one in that car and one at the scene, which was registered to the deceased, George Justiniano, and police are still investigating. In Kensington, I'm Karen Rogers, Channel 6 Action News.
Another big story this Saturday is a guilty verdict in the shocking murders of 2 college students last year out in Ohio. The murders of 20-year-old Aaron Land, who grew up in Philadelphia's Overbrook section, and his friend 18-year-old Brian Muha made major headlines last May. The pair was found shot to death on the side of a road in western Pennsylvania, not far from Franciscan University in Ohio, where both men were students. Police eventually arrested 2 suspects, and late last night, an Ohio jury returned their verdict against the first man. 19-year-old Nathan Herring of Steubenville, Ohio, has been found guilty of aggravated murder. Authorities say Herring could get the death penalty. The other suspect, 19-year-old Terrell Yarborough of Pittsburgh, will stand trial next month. Authorities in Jamaica have made an arrest in a murder that took place 5 years ago in Atlantic City. 28-year-old Georgia Mills was shot to death while leaving work at the Trump Plaza Casino back in February of '95. Now the Atlantic County prosecutor has announced that her former boyfriend and alleged killer, 32-year-old Wilfredo Black, has been arrested in Kingston, Jamaica, and charged in connection with the case. The arrest was based on information given by the Atlantic County prosecutor's office. Black is expected to fight extradition.
The investigation continues into an accident involving a Philadelphia city van, a car, and a wheelchair-bound pedestrian. It happened last night at the intersection of Lancaster and Preston Avenues in West Philadelphia. Police say they were chasing a stolen Philadelphia Department of Recreation van when that van hit a parked car, ran up on the sidewalk, and struck 2 people, one of them in a wheelchair. Both are hospitalized this morning, and the wheelchair-bound victim is listed in critical condition. Meantime, police arrested the driver of the van, charging him with assault and other offenses. Another suspect is still at large. The New Jersey Turnpike is open again this morning after a tractor-trailer accident in Gloucester County. Chopper 6 was over the scene in East Greenwich Township late last night. Police say a car cut off the truck, forcing it onto the median. It overturned and caught fire around 10 o'clock last night. The driver of the car was treated for minor injuries at Memorial Hospital. The driver of the truck was not injured. The cleanup shut down both lanes of the Turnpike for several hours overnight.
The street administration is dealing with a rash of building collapses in Philadelphia. The latest incident happened on 29th and Cecil B. Moore in the city's Strawberry Mansion section. The city says it identifies and demolishes about 30 properties considered dangerous each week. The problem with this latest collapse is officials say the building appeared to be stable when looked at from the street.
Realize that what was stable, what appears to be stable from driving down the street, is in fact nothing but a Hollywood facade that has no roof on it, that has vegetation growing out of the top.
In order to speed up the demolition process, the street administration has created a new program. L&I inspectors will now patrol the city street by street and take bids from contractors to demolish the buildings. Family and followers of Martin Luther King Jr. are in Washington, D.C. today to mark the anniversary of King's I Have a Dream speech. It was 37 years ago that King delivered his speech of hope and racial harmony to tens of thousands. This weekend, Martin Luther King III plans to once again draw attention to racial issues. During a rally in Washington, King hopes to call attention to police brutality, racial profiling, and the death penalty. The demonstration begins at noon today.
For several weeks, fans have been watching a young music group come together on ABC's Making the Band on Friday nights. Now it's about to pay off for fans in our area. The group O-Town will perform at the Granite Run Mall this afternoon.
We didn't come into this trying out for a TV show. We came into this trying out for a group. And, you know, all of a sudden there's another season and touring and merchandise and all that. And it's just surreal still.
Members of the group range in age from 19 to 21. They were some of the hundreds of young men trying out to become the next hit group on ABC's Making the Band. O-Town takes the stage today at noon at the Granite Run Mall in Middletown.
Another big event today, the city of Wilmington continues its revival of a beloved community tradition. The second annual Pushmobile Derby Classic gets underway just a couple of hours from now on Rodney Square. And joining us live to talk about it this morning in our newsroom is Gregory Williams. He's the director of Wilmington's Department of Parks and Recreation. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Great. First, tell us a little bit about today's race. Who is it named after?
It's actually named after a lady by the name of Isabel Sharp, who's about 82 years old. And she actually started this back in 1940, 42. And what we're trying to do is try to relive that and bring it back to Wilmington, Delaware.
What a great idea. Now, Pushmobile derbies have a long history in Delaware. We're going to take a look at some video of past derbies, one in Wilmington, the other in Christiana. What are the rules of a Pushmobile race?
Well, one of the things is you have to be a young child. You have to be between the ages of 9 and 13 years old. The other beautiful part about it is that we have what's called a buddy car, where we try to accommodate the disabled children, and so that's pretty fun, and I think I really like that part of it.
Now, what are the cars made of? People may be wondering when they look at this video.
Well, actually, it's interesting. The newer cars now, the 2000 models, are made of a little bit of aluminum and I think some wood. Obviously, the older cars were made of just purely wood.
Right. How fast do these guys get going?
They can get going pretty fast. I think probably, I don't know what the exact mileage is, but if you talk to the young children, they probably think they're going about 75 miles per hour.
I'm sure they do. Now, how do you qualify to be a Pushmobile racer?
Well, one of the things we do in the city of Wilmington with all of our recreational programs is we try to target inner city youth, and we ask for report cards. And so for this particular race, you had to show us a report card, and if you did relatively well in school, then you qualified. And as long as you were between the ages of 9 and 13 years old.
Wonderful. Gregory Williams of Wilmington's Parks and Recreation Department, thanks for joining us this early morning to tell us about this event.
Thank you.
The City of Wilmington's second annual Walter Shaggy and Isabella Sharp Pushmobile Derby Classic begins at 9 this morning on Rodney Square in downtown Wilmington.
We could find the next Jeff Gordon right there in Wilmington.
There.
You never know. Still much more to come on Action News for this Saturday morning. Next, the latest on those wildfires still burning out of control in the western United States. The city of New York prepares for its next assault on the dreaded West Nile virus.
And later in sports, an entire field of contenders is struggling to catch that tiger. Out in Ohio this weekend, we know who he is. Taking a look at Philadelphia International Airport, now live from Sky 6. Shouldn't be too many problems getting a flight on time today, folks. A lovely day in the Delaware Valley. We'll talk about that in AccuWeather when we continue.
Tonight on Fast Forward, it's Big League Baseball time as we follow the boys of summer to find out the ground rules of being a bat boy. Then follow some area teams as they get in the groove with Mother Nature. It's 1 if by land and 2 if by sea. You'll really get a kick out of this one.
Yeah! Join me, Lisa Thomas-Laurie, for Fast Forward 2000, tonight at 7:30, only on 6ABC.
Be there.